Gwynne.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I'm grateful to the Backbench Business Committee for ensuring this debate took place, and I am particularly grateful to my honourable friend, the Member for Stroud, for securing the debate in the first place, and indeed to all members for their valuable contributions. We've heard from across the House, from my honourable friends, the members for Bolton South and Walkden, Chelsea and Fulham, Ilford South, Swindon North, Liverpool West Derby, Washington and Gateshead South, Worthing West, Southend East and Rochford, Blackpool South, Bathgate and Lithgow, Dudley, Dartford, Mid-Cheshire and Bury St Edmunds and Stowmarket, and on the opposition benches from the honourable gentleman, the member for Wetherby and Easingwold, who I have to say looks so healthy as a consequence of the medication he's taken. I remember what he looked like before, and he's a shadow of his former self. The honourable member for Newbury, for Chester South and Edisbury, for Caerfyrddin, did I get that right? Yeah. Honiton and Sidmouth, Lagan Valley, Strangford, Stratford upon Avon, and then obviously the opposition spokespeople for the Liberal Democrats and the official opposition. Madam Deputy Speaker, in the United Kingdom, we have an obesity crisis. It poses serious challenges to our health. It adds preventable pressure on the NHS and it restricts our economic productivity. Now, I'm reassured that none of us here today underestimate the scale or the importance of the task ahead, and we all recognise the need for action. I am proud that this Labour government has already acted on manifesto commitments in several key areas, as I will outline. But look, I'm also aware there is much more that needs to be done. Over 2/3 of adults are living with excess weight, and around 36% of children are living with obesity or are overweight by the time they leave primary school. That's appalling. And whilst it's shocking by itself, this average hides the deep inequalities we see in obesity. Children living in poorer areas are over twice as likely to be living with obesity compared with those living in the least deprived areas. This has a huge impact on our lives, increasing the risk of many serious diseases, as we've heard, exacerbating mental health issues, and reducing the years that we and our loved ones can expect to live in good health. Almost 22% of all working age people are economically inactive, much of which is due to long-term health conditions caused or exacerbated by obesity. Costs to the NHS of obesity-related conditions are now at £11.4 billion a year, and the cost to wider society is a staggering £74 billion every year. Now, we are committed, and I am so proud of this, to raising the healthiest generation of children ever. This means going further on prevention and tackling the drivers of obesity. Over the recent decades in the UK, food and drink that is calorie dense, nutrient poor and less healthy has become cheaper. It is vital that we ensure our policies continue to drive companies to make food and drink healthier. That is why this government took action to uprate the sugary drinks industry levy in the October budget. The levy has already taken thousands of tonnes of sugar out of the drinks we consume every day, and I pay credit to George Osborne, the Conservative Chancellor in the coalition government that introduced that measure. Uprating the levy is a key part of keeping it effective and continuing to drive reformulation towards healthier products. But it's not just about what is in our food and drinks. Less healthy foods are more heavily promoted. They're marketed and advertised more than ever before. 1/3 of the food industry advertising is on confectionery, snacks, desserts and soft drinks. Only around 1% of advertising budgets are spent on marketing fruit and vegetables. It's therefore not a surprise that our children want to eat these products. One study estimated that 6.4% of UK childhood obesity is attributable to junk food TV advertising. That is why this government has already met its manifesto commitment to lay the secondary legislation required to ensure the ban on junk food ads targeting our kids comes in from October this year. This includes a 9 p.m. TV watershed for the advertisement of less healthy food and drink products and a restriction on paid-for online advertising of all these products. Now, I will give way very briefly.
A very comprehensive response, and it's much appreciated. Minister, one of the things that I'd asked for in my contribution was, and I would ask the Minister, I know the Minister will do this, but I think we could do it probably better. There are initiatives from each of the regions, whether it be Scotland, Northern Ireland or Wales. Those are things that could complement the policy driven from here. Would it be the intention of the Minister to do that with the regional administrations? Thank you so much.
I'm very grateful to him. Of course, when it comes to the advertising regulations, these cover the whole of the United Kingdom. But look, this Labour government has a good working relationship with the devolved governments in Northern Ireland, in Scotland and in Wales. We have the intergovernmental ministerial meetings. We have been liaising very closely on a whole range of public health measures, including the tobacco and vapes bill, directly with my ministerial counterparts in the devolved governments, and I want that relationship to deepen, to mature, because that is good governance across the whole of the United Kingdom. Madam Deputy Speaker, we also know that our chances of accessing healthy food depends on where you live. Children living in less affluent areas see 5 times more fast food outlets on their high streets. And that is why it is so important that we took actions to strengthen the new National Planning Policy Framework. Local authorities now do have clearer powers to block fast food outlets near to schools and also where children and young people congregate, to stop the relentless targeting of children and young people by the fast food industry. Making the healthier choice the easier choice is a major part of achieving our shift to prevention. We will continue to look at ways to support people to make and sustain changes in their diet in line with the government's Eat Well guide. This might be a good point to clarify our position on ultra-processed foods. There are concerning associations between ultra-processed foods and negative health outcomes, including obesity. However, where the evidence is not yet clear is whether the negative health outcomes are due to processing or due to these products tending to be high in calories, sugar, saturated fat and salt. I want to reassure honourable members across the House that many ultra-processed foods are already captured by the existing healthy eating advice, policy actions and regulations related to HFSS foods. Our Scientific Advisory Committee on Nutrition continues to monitor the evidence on ultra-processed foods, and we will commission further research where needed. Madam Deputy Speaker, I want to turn in the last couple of minutes that I've got to a number of the issues that have been raised. Firstly, by the Shadow Minister, just to reassure her that porridge oats will not be banned. The majority of porridge, muesli, granola products will not be affected by the restrictions. But some less healthy versions with added sugar, chocolate and syrup could be affected. To be within scope, Products must fall within one of the categories of food and drink set out in the schedule to the advertising regulations and be defined as less healthy by the 2004-5 nutrition profiling model. For example, categories include, but are not limited to, soft drinks with added sugar, savoury snacks such as crisp, breakfast cereals, confectionery, ice cream and pizza. But despite recent media reports, the majority of porridge products will not be affected. In respect of stigma, which is a really important point made by the Honourable Gentleman for Wetherby, and he's absolutely right. We have to really tackle stigma. Our genetics have not changed in the last 50 years. Our willpower has not changed in the last 50 years. What has changed is the food environment. What has changed is that we are bombarded with marketing for unhealthy foods. And as I say, we already know that the issue is even worse in some of the poorer communities. And then, lastly, Madam Deputy Speaker, my honourable friend, the member for Chelsea and Fulham, and the honourable lady for Caerfyrddin, mention about the accessibility to healthier, affordable food. No child should live in poverty. That's why our ministerial task force is exploring all levies available across government to give children the best start in life. We will tackle food insecurity by rolling out free breakfast clubs in every primary school and continuing to provide free healthy food for children who receive free school meals during the holidays. That is really important that we continue with that. Madam Deputy Speaker, to conclude, and as I know honourable members appreciate, there's no silver bullet for obesity. This debate has shown that obesity is not just about health, it's about food, it's about tax, education, business, employment, advertising and more. It's both a national challenge and a challenge within local communities. Our health mission is focused on shifting towards a more preventative approach which will benefit this agenda. In addition, DEFRA has announced an ambitious new cross-government food strategy to work with the food industry to deliver on our goals for food security, health, affordability and the environment. Obesity is a hugely complex challenge, but tackling it is a key part of achieving the change that is needed in this country. This government is committed to taking effective action, and I look forward to updating members with what we do next. Yeah.